channel. I like reading romance, fantasy romance, paranormal romance, any kind of genre of romance in general. And I also happen to have cerebral palsy, and it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe to my channel. Happy Wednesday! I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. For today's video, it's going to be a recent reads video. I'm going to talk about the 3 books I read for the Mafia Romance Readathon and 2 other favorites. I've seen Bree from In 11 Words do this type of video where she talks about her 5 recent reads. And I thought it would be fun because I have 5 books to talk about. The Mafia Romance Readathon was hosted by Jen at the Book Refuge, Joe
also Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings,
Jackie from First Lady Reads. I'll link every booktuber I talk about, their channels, in the description below, so please go check them out. I'm going to start with my lowest rated to my highest rated. For the Mafia Romance Readathon, I'm going to talk about Illicit King by Maggie Cole. I gave that book 4 stars. Illicit King is about 2 rival Irish families, the O'Learys and the O'Connor. O'Learys have been pushing the O'Connors out of the racetrack in London. So Brian O'Leary figures out who the brains of the operation is. Brian figures out it's
the
Elena.
hero's name is Brody. I don't know why I keep saying Brian. His name is Brody.
And he plans to seduce her and then kill her. And Elena has been the brains of her father's mafia organization.
The heroine's name is Alana. I'm bad at pronouncing names, but I think her name is Alana.
Will name her the successor. So Brody, his name is Brody O'Connor. If you don't know, Brody is Bridget's brother. Bridget is the one from Maggie Cole's previous series, Mafia Wars and Mafia Wars New York. So he plans to kill Elena, but of course it doesn't turn out that way. He falls in love with her instead, and Elena falls in love with him. But when Elena finds out who he really is, she gets so mad. But eventually, she forgives him for lying. But I give this book 4 stars. I thought it was a good start to a new series. But what annoyed me is the fact we all knew that Elena's father was never going to make her head of his organization. Brody kept telling her, you know your father is telling you that to string you along. And Elena was so hard-headed, she didn't listen to Brody. So that annoyed me. Next, I gave 2 books for the Mafia Romance Readathon 6 stars, and that is Twisted Emotions by Cora Riley. Twisted Emotions is about like the Camorra and the Mafia in New York, and they both want to take down the outfits. The Camorra has Nino, Remo, and Fabiano, and the Mafia in New York is Luca, Matteo, and Romeo. And they both want to take down the outfit who is their common enemy. So Remo suggests an arranged marriage between the two families, and the people who are going to get married are Remo's brother Nino and Luca's cousin Chiara. Now Chiara is worried because she was, as a little
Chiara
girl,
was sexually assaulted
13,
by her uncle
uncle
when she was a little girl.
I think it's her dad's brother. And her dad was a horrible person, but Luca killed her dad. And she's been hiding the secret that she was raped by her uncle at a young age. And she's worried because in the Mafia, they only marry virgins. And when they get married and it's their wedding night, she has to tell him that she's not a virgin. Chiara has to tell Nino that she's been sexually assaulted by her uncle. And instead of being mad and blow up like Chiara expects Nino to do, he actually goes to Chiara's assaulter, her uncle, and kills him to get justice for what he did to Chiara. And
Chiara moves to Vegas with Nino
towards Vegas, and it's their romance, and it was so good. Nino cannot feel emotions, like, I don't know what you call it, but he cannot feel emotions like a regular person because of what happened to him when he was younger. So he can simulate emotions, and he helps Chiara get her power back, find her voice, and it was so beautiful. They do fall in love, and just to see Chiara come out of her shell and Nino experience love for the first time, it was a beautiful thing to read. I give this book 6 stars. Then I read Twisted Pride by Cora Riley. Remo, the head of the Camorra, and Serafina, the niece to the outfit leader, their enemy. Now, in Twisted Emotions, Fabio's father, who's the head of the outfit, attacked Remo and his men. So in retaliation, Remo kidnaps Serafina on her wedding day, and it's a captor It's a captor-captive situation. Serafina thought Remo was gonna be this horrible guy. That he was going to assault her, basically, and he doesn't do any of that. They spend time together. He tells her, do you really want to marry this other guy? You don't really have a choice in the matter. Is that really what you want, to play some kind of meek lady when you are so much more than that? Remo and Serafina start going closer when he's watching her. She chooses to give
Serafina chooses to give Remo her body instead of her fiancé
because she has feelings for Remo, and Remo makes it seem that he did something bad to her when he didn't. It was freely given. When Remo gets what he wants, Fabiano's father turns Serafina to her family, but Serafina finds out she is pregnant with twins, so she goes back to Remo, and Remo admits that he loves her, and he asks her to marry her.
Remo asks Serafina to marry him.
I give this book 6 stars. If you haven't read Cora Riley yet, please read her books just so you can get to Twisted Emotions and Twisted Pride. Those books are the best in the series. Another new favorite of mine is Unforgettable by Willow Asher. It's about Scarlett, who's having a really bad day because her family's ski resort has been sold to another owner, and she goes to this bar to forget her problems, and she meets this handsome stranger, and they have a one-night stand. Come to find out the next day, when Scarlett has to meet the new owners of her family ski resort, it's the guy she had a one-night stand with. His name is Jameson. We're so mad at Jameson.
Scarlett is so mad at Jameson.
Jameson knew who she was when they first hooked up, but he didn't. Though she tries to stay away from Jameson throughout the first part of the book, but you can see that Jameson is a nice guy. Her siblings can see it. Her grandmother can see it. And Jameson just wants to include her in the decision makings about the end. It is their romance. It's enemies to lovers, slow burn. I gave this book 5 stars. I really liked it. By Willow Asher. It's her first book in her new small town romance series. The book is called Unforgettable, and the series is called Landmark Mountain. The last book I want to talk about is Forever Your Rogue by Erin Livingston, and it is about Cora, whose husband died, and she has 2 young children, and it's a historical romance, and in this time, a wife cannot be considered guardian for her children, and her son is basically her husband's successor, so he gets all the money. So her husband's brother tries to get custody of her kids, and her best friend's brother, she met him once before she got married. They were sort of friends, but sort of not. So she writes to her, his name is Nathan, and she writes to Nathan. Nathan goes to her, and she asks Nathan if they can pretend to be engaged, so the courts will see that she can provide stability for her children, and she will pay Nathan money so he can fix his reputation. And I love this book. It was so good. I loved how Nathan interacted with Scarlett's children. I loved her and Nathan's relationship in general. I gave this book 5 stars. It was really, really good. I like children and romance books, and I read this book because of Crystal, because I saw her talk about it. And I also heard Jen from the Book Refuge talk about it. Also, those are all the books that I read recently. Please let me know down in the comments below if you have read any of these books. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. I'll see you Friday. Bye.